the National Transportation Safety Board, the NTSB, is testifying over the next 3 days. I'm sure we're going to get some fireworks out of that testimony. But the whole idea here is about the big crash that happened in January that killed 67 people horrifyingly over the skies of Washington, D.C. Now, one of the big issues that a lot of people covering this is, and this is no new topic, but the air traffic controllers, there's a lack of them. And because of that, there are people out there suggesting, well, you know, the standards are too high. Savannah, the flying is already a dangerous thing that people do. Is that something that we want to lower standards for? That just seems fairly obvious. And lower standards specifically so that those dumb minorities can get those jobs. And I don't know, is that something we want to do?
I don't think so. You know, it's only in Washington, D.C. that two government aircrafts can literally collide in the sky, and somehow no one on the ground loses their job. I mean, you've got the Army running training ops with faulty equipment and no real time trafficking while the FAA is too busy pushing DEI training to worry about aircraft separation. I mean, this is what happened when bloated agencies focus more on buzzwords than basic safety. Maybe in the next diversity workshop, they should be avoiding mid-air collusions and not pronoun policing. Because I actually want to trust the pilot and know that they're not going to kill me, essentially. So it's just crazy.
Yeah, and again, we don't want to make light of like a very serious situation, but at the same time, yeah, it's almost laughable, Kevin, that you've got these people that are actually advocating. Well, it's too difficult for certain groups of people to get these jobs, not because there's any sort of bias in them, but because the standards are too high. What does that say about the culture that people are willing to let that standard slip?
Well, once again, with the bigger picture, I mean, we see this across the board, Joe Bob, is every time that something is too hard for maybe a group of people or even just for a singular person that wants to try it, they say, let's reduce the standards. Why is it always that we immediately jump on this idea of, oh, let's reduce the standards. Let's make it so lawyers don't have to take the bar. Let's make it so that, no, I want the best person for the job. And ultimately it bleeds into the idea that that the left, the liberals are not for a meritocracy, and they are not for having the best person for the job. Instead, it's who's the best looking for the job. And I'll tell you, as we saw with the Sydney Sweeney ad, it doesn't matter if you actually are good looking. It's just if you're good looking to them.
Facts.
Wow. Kevin
wow.
Ferris somehow able to tie in the National Transportation Safety Board into Sydney Sweeney. Congratulations on that pivot. But yeah, you bring up obviously several great points there. The fact that meritocracy is the way that we became the greatest country on earth, and losing it will obviously not benefit us in any way, shape, or form.